State. The Badgers favored by 2.5. Busy day of action tomorrow. Number 10, Illinois hosts Indiana. Number 5, Tennessee at Vanderbilt. Number 6, Kentucky at Arkansas. Number 9, Arizona visits Oregon. Number 8, Auburn at Mississippi State. Number 20, Texas Tech battles number 11, Oklahoma. Number 7, Kansas at number 23, Iowa State. Number 14, Marquette hosts Seton Hall. The Pirates are 6-3 in the Big East. Texas looks for the upset at number 21, BYU. Number 4, Houston hosts Kansas State. Both teams are 4-2 in the Big 12. Number 15, Baylor hosts TCU. Get the latest lines and more at vsin.com.
Each week, check out our latest Zone deal online at 977ESPN.com.
I'm eating good food.
We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The opinions of Thom Abraham are not necessarily the opinions of the radio station or anybody associated with the radio station or ownership. These are strictly his own opinions, and sometimes they're not even his opinions.
Can you get me a little typeset?
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
Your tire's tired.
Well, the lunchtime whistle and the morning's finally done. I'm jumping in my car, I'm gonna have a little fun. The Doghouse Network's on my radio dial. Big Dog's taking care of business for a while. If you're listening to another station I don't understand, but nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
Give us a call, Steve.
He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Titan Tiger Land, nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Hey, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Football Friday in the Doghouse, the one, the only, the best.
It's the holiest day of the week, the Friday trifecta.
Our favorite day of the entire week. Featuring football music throughout the show. It's Football Friday. Oh, you got to play that organ, baby. Not that organ, this organ right here. That organ. Ain't nothing like it, I'm just telling you right now. Greatest single piece sports music ever written. Let's break out the guitar radio, that's him. The rock and roll, George Benson style. I'm just saying. Somebody said I want funky on Friday. Funky Friday music. That's funky right there. And it's championship game weekend as well. We got a good Friday trifecta for you. We got some serious points on the line here. Because this is week 8 of Grand Trifecta 2 for the season. This is the one that runs through the Super Bowl. And our Grand Trifecta winner will receive a night in the TOC Ice Suite down at a upcoming Huntsville Havoc game. You're going to want to take that in. And look, I mean, they're sold out tonight. Another sellout down there at the Hockey Barn. It's just so popular and so many fans for the Huntsville Havoc. How would you like to take in a game? Ice level at the TLC Ice Suite, and I'll buy the first round as well for you, and we'll give you chow before the game at Corjalejo's Mexican Restaurant as well. Now, we're going to feed you all for this week as well, but you got to hit all 4 picks. Everybody that hits all 4 picks will get fed. Last week I said the same thing. I took 30-some-odd picks, and nobody hit all 4. You got to hit all 4 picks, and you get fed. I mean, it's that simple. Well, obviously, it's not simple, but if you do it, you get fed. It's not no drawing or anything else. Just everybody that hits all 4 picks will get fed. Now, this week we've got 4 picks, and here is your scoring. All right, any 3 of the 4 picks, Any three of the four picks is a 3-point trifecta. That's right. We're kicking a field goal on the trifecta because, trifecta, right? I mean, it is the trifecta. So you should have to at least hit 3 games. I'm not doing any of this. Every game you get right, you get 2 points. No, hit the freaking trifecta. Any 3 of the 4 games is a 3-point trifecta. The 4th game carries a 3-point bonus. So you scored a touchdown. Hit all 4, you get 6 points on the big board. I mean, this pulls a lot of people in. We got 2 more weeks to go after this. This pulls a lot of people in. But you got to at least hit the trifecta. You hit the 4th game, you now have a touchdown. And get this, I'm going to give you a chance at extra point. I'm even going to give you a chance at the extra point. And the extra point's going to be a simple thing. The extra point's going to be the quarterback with the most yards this weekend. Total yards, rushing, passing, everything. You just give me the quarterback with the most yards rushing this of the 4 quarterbacks, or any backup if you want to put them in there. But whether it's Lamar Jackson or the Patrick Mahomes or the Brock Purdy or the Jared Goff, whatever quarterback has the most total yards, rushing, receiving, total yards, give me the quarterback. That's your extra point. All right, so here's your picks. Otherwise, you got your Kansas City Chiefs.
I really appreciate that Patrick Price on my insurance. Being a champ has its perks.
How about those Chiefs?
They get 3.5 in Baltimore.
If the ball is in your hand and I knock it out your hand, that's a freaking fumble.
Lamar Jackson in the flesh.
Over or under 44.5 points. The Detroit Lions.
We're going to bite a kneecap off. We're going to kick you in the teeth.
Get 7.5 at the 49ers.
My father's no different than any other powerful man. Any man who's responsible for other people.
Who's got it better than us? No way!
That's a real confusing one there, isn't it? That's Jim Harbaugh as the coach of the 49ers with his family credo, who's got it better than us? That old Jack Harbaugh used to tell his boys all the time, who's got it better than us? Nobody. Lions get 7.5 at the 49ers. Over or under 51.5 points. And then for your extra point, just give me the quarterback with the most yards. Just give me the quarterback with the most total yards this weekend. Just one quarterback, most total yards this weekend. It's that easy. It's that easy. All right, taking a look at your scoreboard for you. Jay in Athens with 13 leads the way. Badger Larry and Wolverine. Natty Danny have 12. They're one back each. Shane in Madison has 10. Bowling JJ has 11. Bunchies have 7. Mongo, Martinez, Grumpy, Graham, Brody have 7 points. Joe Bodner, Bama Brad have 6. Scotty P and Kristen Burrow and Bama Chris have 5. Look, you hit 7, that puts you in the lead, depending on what the other guys do. If the leaders stumble a little bit, it puts you right there. And there's going to be heavy points these next 3 weeks. So, I mean, you could not even be on the board right now. And if you're not on the board and you say, well, I can't win the grand trifecta, yeah, but you can win food this week. Just hit the 4 picks and you win food this week. That easy. That easy. Now, the only way to get into this deal is by calling the radio show or hitting the text window. You call the radio show by calling 256-576-4977. 256-576-4977. You can text the show. 7329 TA show. Now in its 2007 15th year. 15th year of the text window. Wow. It's the 15th year of the text window. Over a half a dozen radio stations. Yeah. Woo! 15th friggin' year of the text window. 732-982-7469. That easy. My X feed is at Thom Abraham Show. The station's feed is at 97.7 ESPN. Facebook is at 97.7 ESPN. You can find a link there to our YouTube channel at WZZN-TV. 97.7ESPN.com has links to all of that. And while you're at it, get the app. And there you'll find links to our alternate streaming channels for more great programming. 4 more channels there at the app. And online. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Zone 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right there. All right there. So the Atlanta Falcons have their man, not Belichick, not Harbaugh, not Vrabel, because why would you snag one of those guys if Raheem Morris is available? Yes, the defensive coordinator of the LA Rams. You know, who's done a great job there as a defensive coordinator, really has been a quality assistant wherever he has gone. I thought first when I saw Raheem Morris, I'm like, why are they hiring their defensive coordinator before they hire a head coach? And I'm like, what? Oh, he's going to be the head coach. Look, the guy had one decent year as a head coach. One. He went 10-6 in 2010. That was 14 years ago. I had just started the text window. And Raheem Morris went 10-6 with the Bucs, which was only good for third in the NFC South. They didn't make the playoffs. He bracketed that 10-6 in 2010 with a 3-13 in 2009 and a 4-12 in 2011, which got him fired. Now, during the COVID mess of 2020, after Dan Quinn was fired, Raheem Morris, who was the defensive coordinator there, took over the Falcons in the interim. And he went 4-7 and didn't get interviewed. He went 4-7. Like, yeah, okay, we're going to hire Arthur Smith. Look, a nice coordinator, maybe even a great coordinator. Is this the guy you want, though, going forward? Is this got you off? Is this warmed up the cockles of your heart? Is this got you all fired up? Yeah. I'm just saying. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here. I'm just saying. Former Falcon and Tider Mike Johnson from 92.9 The Game in Atlanta coming up at the top of the one. First hour's wide open for you guys to get in. We'll bang those calls here in a minute. The other part of this deal with the Raheem Morris getting the job is now Bill Belichick seems to be left out of this hiring process. I mean, with all the jobs that were open, there's only 2 left now, Seattle and Washington. And Belichick has not been a player for either one. The odds-on money when he left the Patriots was Washington, right? With its proximity to Annapolis, where he began his career, the symmetry of him following in the footsteps of Vince Lombardi, who went there after dominating in Green Bay. That was not lost on the old-timers like me. But old-timers like Pete Carroll and Bill Belichick seem to be facing the same fate as contemporary Nick Saban in their careers. I guess the only thing left for super old people to do is, I don't know, lead the free world as president of the United States. I mean, Donald Trump's going to be 78 and Joe Biden 82 when the next inauguration rolls around. Can't coach a football team, but you can run the free world. All right, other things I'm touching on today. The Detroit Lions going to the NFC Championship game is having a profound impact on the economy in the Motor City. I can only imagine what it will be like there if they win on Sunday. And what if they win the Super Bowl? I mean, I'd say they burn that place down, but they pretty much have already done that. There's not left anything left to burn down in Detroit. I mean, they'll all have to go like to one spot and burn that down because there's nothing left. I mean, you know, place looks like a war zone anyway. But I got details on what it's doing there. And the NFL remains committed to the minute LGBTQ community and will provide, quote, a night of pride with GLAD. I'll have to look it up to see. I forget what GLAD stands for. Anyway, a night of pride with GLAD on Super Bowl Wednesday, complete with TV coverage of this thing. And either earlier in the day, the NFL is going to host its second annual Pride Flag Football Clinic at the Super Bowl Experience. Now, they're doing a flag football clinic for kids that are, heterosexual, like normal. I don't know. But this is the Pride Flag Football Clinic at the Super Bowl Experience, working with a local center that serves LGBTQ youth. As if they can decide anything. They don't know what they want for lunch. But they're going to decide that they're an L, or they're a B, or they're a G, or they're a 2. I mean, they don't, I'm just saying. Attendees and their families, according to the press release, will be celebrated. You got to celebrate them. Got to celebrate them. Let's not celebrate the people that decide they're just normal, like heterosexual people. No, we're going to celebrate them. We're going to celebrate them. Celebrate. And they're going to be welcomed by NFL players and members of the National Gay Flag Football League. I guess that would be the NGFFL. The National Gay Flag Football League. Okay. All right. Whatever floats your boat. The NFL. Jamming it down our throat. All right, over there mixing the show, cringing right now probably a little bit, but that's all right. I'll say the things others won't, so I'm just saying it's out there. He's over there hanging out in that little glass room with the slanted ceiling, explaining platters of matter, stacks of wax, answering them busy phones on a Friday. Living large, the one and the only DJ Grizzy Grizz.
Who in the blue hell are you?
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put the thing together on a polish.
Brilliant! I've got $100 smoking in my billfold. I know I ought to save it, but it's burning a hole. Right through my pocket and into my skin. Come Monday morning, I'll be broke again. It's finally Friday, I'm free again. I got my motor running for a wild weekend. It's finally Friday, I'm out of control. Forget the working blues and let the time roll.
Down goes Grissom.
Someone call someone because there's a cleanup on aisle 3 as a man is down.
It's like taking poison, like rat poison.
It's not St. Patty's Day, so that's a different day entirely.
Hey, Grizzlicious! How you doing on a football Friday? You got yourself a coach, and it's the one and the only Raheem Morris.
Oh, man, so excited. I don't understand why they didn't just hire him after 2020, where they let him go and went the Arthur Smith route, and you saw how that went, and now you went back for another coach that has a losing record, and a defensive-minded head coach. You have no idea what you have at quarterback, and you literally interviewed 14 different candidates. You wined and dined.
15.
Well, 15, including him, 15. You wined and dined Bill Belichick, one of the greatest coaches ever in the NFL, and even brought him on your yacht and did all those things and did all the rich people stuff and still didn't even hire him. And Mike Vrabel out there didn't get hired because would have been really bad if Mike Vrabel got hired because you would have saw Arthur Smith as the OC. So that would have been kind of crazy. Yeah, he's bringing him along. I think if Bill Belichick gets hired and Vrabel is the DC, and you might see Arthur Smith as the OC.
No, I'm pretty sure that wasn't going to happen. Now we're going to have to find out what kind of connections does Raheem Morris have for the offense. I mean, because that's the thing. I mean, well, you go from an offensive head coach to a defensive head coach, and now we're like, who are they going to hire?
Yeah, and I think there's been so many different who's gonna be the OC or whatever. Could he hire Zach Robinson, who is the passing game coordinator and the quarterbacks coach? I'm sure you'll hear more about that from Mike Johnson and everything like that. But there's a lot of options. I'm sure that he could probably look at offensive coordinator, maybe get a guy around. I'm not really sure. I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm trying to be hopeful, okay? I'm trying to enjoy this pick because the players love him, and I think, like, maybe that's something they need. Maybe this is something the franchise needs. Arthur Blank really likes him too, but I feel like also this is kind of like Arthur Blank saying, I screwed up last time. Let me give him the job. Rich McKay has nothing to do with football operations, so Falcons fans rejoice. Now the soccer team's going to suck because he's going to focus all of his time on the soccer team.
So Rich McKay is going to the soccer team?
Yeah, he's not doing anything football-related.
He's out of the mix for football.
Out of the mix. Out of the mix. I'm sure you'll hear more about that from Mike. I don't want to sit here and break down more of what Mike's going to talk about because,
I'm pretty sure that Mike will have something fresh for us.
For sure. But, it's just the thing where it's just I'm happy because it'll let Terry Fontenot be able to do what he wants to do, and then you'll be able to see, possibly.
Why does that make you happy?
I kind of like what Terry's been able to do. I don't understand why he gets so much hate. I think the reason why Bill Belichick didn't go to Atlanta was because he's not going to go to Arthur Blank and specifically report to Arthur Blank. I think that's where Rich McKay got a lot of, because he was basically the little guy that was doing all his dirty work for Arthur Blank. And that's always where Rich McKay got everything. And it was bad.
All right. There's Grizz. I had to let him vent a little bit about this because this is a thing, for him. This is a bothersome thing. I'm glad. I'm glad you're excited. I'm glad I'm not a Falcon fan. Yeah, I'm
laughing stock of the NFL. I think I've heard that before. Bad teams take this long to hire these types of coaches. It's just what are we doing? What are they doing?
All right, we'll get a break in here. We're going to go wide open with calls. We have slam lines right now. We're going to get to you guys. Natty Danny, Paulina Cape, Ray Dog, Bama Rick, and Bama Brad are all on. We'll start clearing calls in a moment here. When we return, it's the Tom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Injuries at work happen all the time in Alabama. So do motor vehicle and slip and fall accidents. If you're hurt at work or injured in an accident, I want you to call my good friends at Pond Lehocky Giordano. That's Pond Lehocky, Alabama's injury law firm. They got your back just like they've got mine. For personalized legal support, reach out to Pond Lehocky at 855-774-3838 or pondlehocky.com.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find him online at ChapmanCommercialRealty.com.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. If you're ready to lower your utility bills, Eagle can insulate your home and help you save money with fiberglass, spray foam, and cellulose insulation, and can help you decide what's best for your project. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
We cover all the SEC schools, including Western Union and Venmo.
I want that money!
You know, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back, Thom Abraham Show. All right, we get this first call segment going, and it is brought to you by the fine folks at TOC, because they're the ones that are making it possible for you to win the TOC Ice Suite at an upcoming Huntsville Havoc game. They take care of the Havoc, of course, Alabama A&M as well, and we'll see pretty much every high school in the region is what they take care of. Whether it's a sports injury or not, though, it's TOC. Work injuries, maybe you're just getting old, breaking down a little bit. TOC has the right specialist for you. They are North Alabama's largest sports medicine provider. It's TOC Sports. Stay in the game with TOC Sports. All right, let's get this thing started. Natty Danny will be in the opening. Somehow he beat Paulie in the Cape today, and it's Natty Danny joining us first. Natty Danny, welcome to the show. How are you?
Paulie, take the dogs, Paulie. We're going to cover, and so it's Kansas City. Paulie, take the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move. Let's go back a little bit. I had to say that first off, but listen, what a wonderful day. Finally got my car started. Got it jumped and everything. Got my truck all detailed, nice and everything. Got it all set up. It was a really good day. I busted a workout. Thom, it's all good. Now I got to move fast because I'm getting who upset now. So
well, I mean, we do have slammed lines, and that's a good thing. But I appreciate that.
So let's move on.
I appreciate that. All right, so the Chiefs get 3.5 at the Ravens. It sounds like you're taking.
I really appreciate that Patrick Price on my insurance. Being a champ has its perks.
Am I correct? It sounds like you want the dog. Okay, you got him. You got him over or under 44.5.
I'm going to say over.
All right, so you go over 44.5. The Lions, your Lions, we're going
to bite a kneecap off. We're going to kick you in the teeth.
Get 7.5. All right.
Yeah.
Do you want to say how they're going to win the game, or do you want to just say take the points?
Well, we won already because Campbell's the coach of the year. General manager is Brad Holmes. Oh, come on, baby.
I don't think Campbell's going to be the coach of the year.
Yeah, he's the coach of the NFC. Who in the AFC is going to beat? You kidding me? Who in the AFC is going to beat that?
I think it'll either be D'Amico Ryans or Kevin Stefanski will be the coach of the year.
Oh, no way. Where we came from, ain't no way. See you later.
No, where you came from, finished you 1 year, last 8 out of last 9 last year. So
No. We were nothing for a long time. Nah, man. Anyway, let's move on to the pick.
Over or under 51.5 points?
That's going to be under.
All right, so you're going to take the under on that one. And then which of the 4 quarterbacks this weekend will have the most overall yards?
Well, you know who you would think I would say, but I'm not going to say him. I'll tell you what. I'm going to go with Lamar.
Going to go
Lamar Jackson in the flesh.
All right, so Lamar Jackson to have the most points. All right, we got you in, man.
All right, listen. Hey, Paulie, take the unders. See ya.
So Paulie's in the Cape, where I will be. I don't know if I'm going to get out to the Cape. I am pulling out. Seriously, the music at the end of the show will still be playing, okay? I'll be pulling out of the driveway from the palatial suites studios of Big Dog Productions.
You need to be live from your phone.
I am going to be gone. I mean, the music will be playing. This thing, it'll take me a minute because I gotta collect some of the gear and finish up. I got to put my laptop in the briefcase. Everything else is loaded. My fishing stuff is loaded. My stuff for the trip is loaded. The only thing I got to do is I got to take my Comrex so I can communicate with you, Grizz, and my laptop. I got to put those things in my gear bag, and then I am gonzo. All right, heading south. And I'm going to get to my folks' house sometime midday tomorrow. I'm going to hang out with them. I'm going to go to church with them on Sunday morning. Then I'm going to go to my daughter's house, and I'm going to watch the games there poolside at my daughter's house. And I'll be there Monday and Tuesday broadcasting poolside to do my show. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I have an assignment with Bassmaster at the St. Croix Bassmaster Open at Lake Okeechobee. Yes. And I'll be very much involved in all of that and so on. And then I'll be coming back. I think Monday's my travel day coming back. I might make it back over the weekend. I'll see. And the only negative about this whole thing is this trip. Daughter Kelly, who lives right there in in Madison, she has a 5-stop tour. You know, she's a singer.
Yeah.
She has a 5-stop tour. Get this, in South Africa.
Yeah, I saw that. That's really cool.
Isn't that cool?
Pretty cool.
She's got, yeah. So she's got a 5.
Get to travel, get to play. Yeah.
So she's going over there for that. But that means that my grandkids are solo, and they're too young to be left, obviously, by themselves. So the Junkyard Babe, she had already committed to staying there in Madison to watch cool. Kelly's children. Not cool. I wish somebody else could do it so that she could go with me. But she's not going with me. She's staying there. So I'm solo for the week in Florida coming up. And who knows? Maybe I'll see Paulie in the Cape. Paulie, welcome in. You're up next.
Hello, Tom. I don't know. The guy's telling me to put money because he's thinking his coach is going to be coach of the year. That's what I'm going to put it all on? Yeah. Right.
That's what he thinks. That's what he thinks. All right. So the Chiefs, the Chiefs get 3.5 at the Ravens.
Well, looking at the analysis on TeamRankings.com, I'm going to have to go with Baltimore.
If the ball is in your hand and I knock it out your hand, that's a freaking fumble.
Over or under 44.5?
Under. Don't forget about the weather. Don't forget about the weather.
I didn't. Yeah, are they going to have weather there? I'm going to have to double check because the last I saw, last I saw it was going to be decent. I'll have to check the weather here during the break. Yeah. The Lions get 7.5 in San Francisco, where it's supposed to be nice weather.
Yeah, they're on the road. The rankings say San Francisco only because you're looking at the yards per play. They're crushing them on the yards per play defensive-wise. But can they pull it out? Can they pull it out? Can the team pull it out and do the backdoor cover? That's why I will lose my mind and take the backdoor cover with this team. And hopefully
we're going to bite a kneecap off. We're going to kick you in the teeth.
Oh, you jumped on the Lions. Okay. Well, with Deebo Samuel being limited, it's not a bad pick probably, even though I took the 49ers and beat the big dog. Over or under 51.5?
That's the thing. Does they miss the field goal? Then it goes – he missed the extra point, and it goes into overtime?
Oh.
My God. I think it's going to go over.
By the way, Mark Andrews will be playing on Sunday for the Ravens. All right, so you got the over 51.5. All right, so give me the quarterback. Of the 4 quarterbacks, who is going to have the most total yards this weekend?
I think the pick's got to be Lamar because, he has to get to the Super Bowl. That means if he's got to put the team on his back and jam it in the end zone, so be it.
Lamar Jackson in the flesh.
All right, so you got Lamar Jackson on that. I think that's going to be a popular pick. The thing is that if he throws for 200 and runs for 60, and Jared Goff throws for 285, you know what I mean? Then we'll see what happens. All right, Paulie. Go ahead.
And just one last thing. That thing about it's a shame. It's a shame what the NFL is doing, and this thing with the LGBTQ, all that crazy stuff.
Yeah.
It's just a shame. And real quick, before 2020, M for M plus F for female equals B for baby. Now the damn formula is LGBTQIA. And then what are you going to plus that with? What's the next letter? And then put the equal sign, and what pops out? Tell me the letters you're going to put in, everybody, that's all giddy about this insanity. Tell me how the formula works now. What are we going to plug in?
LGBTQ. There's usually sometimes there are some other letters that are in there sometimes as well.
They added the I and the
IA.
to it, if I'm not mistaken, right? And then plus what? What do you plug in? Plus what letter are we going to plug in? And what comes out next? Tell me.
What's IA mean? I don't even know I don't know either. So let's see. So lesbian, gay, bi, trans. What's Q?
Queer.
Grizz would know. Grizz, what's Q?
Queer.
Do you know what the Q stands for? Oh, queer. I thought queer was a bad word. I didn't think.
No, you got to put old school in it so everybody remembers something.
Yeah, but doesn't queer cover the L, the G, and the B, and the T? I thought the queer would cover. I thought the Q. Why don't we just say Q? Can we just go Q? I mean, why do we have to have an L, G, and a B, and a T if we got a Q in there? I thought Q covered everything.
That covers the senior citizens from back in the 60s.
Are you going to get in any action on the National Gay Flag Football League? You know what I mean? It might be betting on that. You know?
I may have to get my personal flags measured correctly.
Yes, that's your flag. All right, Paulie. I appreciate you, Paul.
If you see where I'm coming from, it's a shame.
Well, it is 4% of the population, so I mean, let's ignore the other 96%.
How's that going to? 4%. How are they going to get up to 20%? How are you going to do? Keep adopting?
It's not going to happen. All right, man. Appreciate you. Ray Dog is up next.
Trying to get through Friday.
Ray Dog, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm well. Yourselves?
I am fantastic. Grizz is like a little cringy right now because of me, but you know what? I just I tell it the way it is. Grizz, I'm going to tell it the way it is. I'm not going to ignore. I mean, they put it out there. They want to put it out there. It's going to be talked about.
Again before I set up.
So
what's going on,
missed an opportunity. Grizz missed an opportunity when you were doing the live read to play Kool and the Gang Celebration as the underbed while you did the read.
I didn't know he did that.
We're having a pride celebration for football, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, hey, we got to take care of the 4%. Just saying.
Hey, it's the NFL. We don't take care of the 4%. That's a lost opportunity at revenue. That's why we like Taylor Swift at games.
I just wonder how much.
We get future employees, and there you go.
I wonder how much of that community is like football fans, NFL fans. It's like, hey, I'm in the LGBTQ, but I love the NFL. I'm not saying it can't be. I'm just saying there isn't a percentage there. But I would say that the percentage of football fans in that community, in that 4%, is probably lower than the percentage of football fans in the other 96%, if you know what I'm saying.
It may well be.
Let's
get to pick them.
All right. The Chiefs get 3.5 at the Ravens.
Well, the weather in Baltimore is going to be upper 40s and rainy.
Okay.
And since Patrick Mahomes and I represent a specific brand, we're taking the Chiefs.
I really appreciate that Patrick Price on my insurance. Being a champ has its perks.
You working for State Farm now?
I am.
Okay, good job by you. The wind is the issue. Rain won't be the problem. The wind will be the issue if there's heavy wind. 44.5 points, over or under?
The wind is an issue. These are two teams that want to throw the ball, and you're telling me that the game's getting played in the 20s, the low 20s. I'm taking the over.
Low 20s. Okay, you better have like 24. See, 24-21, that's what you need to get you over. All right, Lions get 7.5 at San Francisco. Good weather.
I love that Dan's been thrilled with their run, but the fairy tale ends in San Francisco. They're just
My father's no different than any other powerful man. Any man who's responsible for other people.
So you take the good fellas. Over or under 51.5?
I think it's under.
And what quarterback this weekend will have the most total yards?
PM. Mahomes.
He'll run the ball too. So that makes it. He can.
I really appreciate that Patrick Price on my insurance. Being a champ has its perks.
Yeah, he'll run the ball. So, all right, we got you in, Ray Dog. Have a wonderful weekend.
I'm celebrating Casey's 40th birthday, so it will be an amazing weekend. Tom, you drive safe.
She does not look 40. Holy mackerels. Wasn't seeing 40 there. Grizz just sent me a link. Bengals, Grizz, I'm not opening the link because I want to take more phone calls. Bengals, Jags, and Buccaneers have the most LGBTQ fans. Is that right? I think that's what he's telling me. I think that's what the story says. Bengals fans have the most. Outsports.com. I'm definitely not opening that link. If I open the outsports.com link, I'm going to start getting emails from outsports.com. So the Bengals have the biggest LTBG. Wait a minute. Hang on. Let me look at it. LGBTQ.
That's what this computer's for.
I'm not opening it on my computer. You open it on yours. So the
I was trying to find a link.
That is interesting, and I find a certain amount of satisfaction with that as a Browns fan, that the Bengals are the preferred team of the LGBTQ community. That's comforting a little bit to me as a Browns fan. Bama Rick is next. Bama Rick, welcome to the show. How are you? Turn your radio down.
I'm good, Tom. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Keep your radio turned down. How you doing?
Yeah, it's turned down. Hey, before we start, I want to thank you. Took the wife up to Cherokee, North Carolina. Almost got messed up there. We enjoyed the casino, but that travel back from Gatlinburg to that casino was horrible.
Now, was it because of the weather it was horrible, or why was it horrible?
Weather was horrible. It was a little snow on the ground, but those back roads where the GPS takes you through neighborhoods and
oh, really?
Backyards and everything. Yeah, it was horrible.
That's nuts.
Anyway, we enjoyed the trip.
Okay, good. So you want to get in on this trifecta?
Yeah, I want to get in on it.
All right. The Chiefs get 3.5 at the Ravens.
Ravens.
Lamar Jackson in the flesh.
The over or under 44.5?
Over.
The Lions get 7.5.
49ers.
Who's got it better than us? No!
Over or under 51.5?
Over.
And what quarterback has the most total yards this weekend?
I'm going to go against the grain this week, and I'm going to take Purdy. He's due for one.
Purdy could have a big game. He won't do much with his legs, but he could throw for 340. You never know.
He could throw for 340. You're right.
You're right. All right, Bama Rick, I appreciate you, man. Glad you got home safely.
All right, roll tide.
Roll Tide is right. Bama Brad is up next. Bama Brad, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, Tom. How you doing today?
If I was any better, I'd be two of me.
I hear you. I'll be safe on your trip down there.
All right, thank you.
Let me get these in quick. I know people are waiting.
Chiefs plus 3.5.
I'm going to take the Ravens. Defense win championship.
If the ball is in your hand and I knock it out your hand, that's a freaking fumble.
Over or under 44.5?
I'm going to go under. I think the Ravens are going to shut the Chiefs down.
They shut the Texans down, that's for sure. If it wasn't for the punt return, they'd have been a shutout. The Lions get 7.5 at the 49ers.
Oh, this one's tough for me, Tom. But you know what? I give him flack all year long. But my buddy Wolverine Dan, as a Michigan man, he must feel like a stranger in this town. And it's because of that, because I feel like a number, I'm going to turn the page, and I'm going to take the Lions in the 7.
We're going to bite a kneecap off. We're going to kick you in the teeth.
Excellent Bob Seger references in there. That's a great job with the Seger references in there.
Thank you,
Although there are a lot of Michigan folks hanging around the Tennessee Valley, that's for sure. They always say about what they say about Michigan. It's a great place to be from. Over or under 51.5?
I'm going to take the under. I think the Lions are going to shut the 49ers down.
All right. Then what quarterback, for the extra point, what quarterback will have the most yards total this weekend?
Well, saying that, I'm going to go with Goff.
You got him. All right, Bama Brad, I appreciate you. Good job by you there, man, with the Seger references.
All right, man. Y'all take care. Be careful when you trip to Florida.
All right, thank you. Grizz, how far into his bit did you get? Wait a minute, those are all Bob Seger songs. He said, "Feel like a number." I'm like, "Oh,
yeah." I heard a little bit of it. I was putting numbers in. I apologize.
Hitting the Bob
Bama
Seger.
Brad's good. It's good to talk to
good.
in between.
Yeah, Brad is good, man. He's a guy that came along, a little bit later on. I think Bama Brad got his cherry phone call in sometime this year. He's been a good addition to the show. A legend in the doghouse is LSU Lynch. He's next. LSU Lynch, welcome to the show. How are you?
Son, I'm just sitting here laughing, so let's move on with this. Give me the Ravens.
You want the Ravens?
If the ball is in your hand and I knock it out your hand, that's a freaking fumble.
Over or under 44.5?
Give me the under.
Lions get 7.5.
Give me the Lions.
Wait a minute.
We're going to kick you in the teeth. We're going to bite a kneecap off.
I thought you were a 49er fan, aren't you?
I want a free gift certificate. I don't care. Come on.
Oh, I didn't realize you go there. Over or under 51.5?
Go under.
And what quarterback will have the most total yards this weekend?
Purdy.
Your boy Purdy. You could. By the way,
Purdy.
Brock Purdy. By the way, for LSU Lynch and any other LSU fans out there, there is a new documentary coming out on Prime about LSU called Money Matters or something like that. They did, Prime did that thing, a season with Coach Prime, a little play on words there for them. But they got a new documentary coming out where they had inside access to the LSU Bengal Tigers during the entire 2023 season, and it's focusing on NIL. So it's called Money Matters, I think is what it's called, and it's focusing on NIL with LSU, and I know there's going to be a decent amount of Olivia Dunn in there. So those of you that are old men that are preverts, you will want to watch that, and those of you that are young men like Grizz can watch it and not feel like a prevert. Well, no, I mean, she's 20, 21. I mean, you're 33. I mean, that's in your wheelhouse. Be all right with that. Old dudes like me and Lynch, though, I mean, come on. Can't be watching that. My cutoff is my kid's age. All right? Any girls that are younger than if I can beat her daddy.
Sounds like a Frank Reynolds from It's Always Sunny. The little kid pageant episode.
I gotta watch that show.
You have
I gotta go back and watch it from
Everyone
the beginning.
has to watch that show.
I've never seen
it is
one
not for
episode.
everybody, but you have to at least watch it once. So if you hate it, then don't ever watch it again.
How many episodes would it take to get into it, to like it?
I think you have to get through.
You gotta watch a season, or do you gotta watch 3?
You have
and
to
then
get
you're hooked?
because you have to. Well, no, I mean it's different for a lot of other people. The thing about
I'm
it
a
is,
big Danny DeVito fan. That's the thing. And if Danny DeVito's in there, I'm gonna like it.
And it's a lot like it's the Seinfeld literally of our day. Like it is literally of modern day. It's literally they're on 15 seasons now. I think they're on 16 seasons.
Wow.
I mean, it's literally kept going, and every episode always has to do with something. I mean, gas crisis. There's always something that they're trying to make money half the time in the show, and they're always doing something that's felonious. And at the end, they obviously never get in trouble because it's a show.
I'll binge it this week when I'm gone because I'll be by myself, and I'll binge it. All right, Kramer's up next. Kramer, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, doing pretty good, big dog. How about yourself? Sounds like you're
I am fantastic.
About poolside next week.
Yeah, I'll be poolside next week. I'll be living large there. And the weather's supposed to be good until about Wednesday, and then it's supposed to be sunny but high 60s. I would wish it would stay warm, but it's not going to. But anyway.
Well, it's not as good as it could be either, because I'm sure the pool in Florida hits different without the JYB with you.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. And then, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'll be at Okeechobee anyway, so,
Yeah. That's good. Well, I was thinking this whole trifecta thing, I'm probably don't even have any points, but none of the stuff matters anyways, because somebody's going to hit the Super Bowl score and probably win it all anyways, right?
They could. I mean, it's only happened twice now that somebody has nailed the score on the last one, but it could happen. Yeah.
It happened to me with the championship game, right?
It did.
That's
yeah.
what I'm shooting for. I'm payback. That's what I'm wanting to do. I'm going to hit the Super Bowl score and just knock whoever's in the top out. That's what my goal is. But it's only happened twice.
You could still get Chow though if you hit it today. Did you send yours in already?
No, I haven't. That's what I was going to say. I was going to run through the picks really quick.
Okay. The Chiefs get 3.5.
Well, I'm going to take the Chiefs because if you want to be the champ, you got to beat the champ, right? And last week we saw Josh Allen. Man, Josh Allen made some great throws in that game. Can Lamar Jackson do that? I'm not criticizing Lamar Jackson at all right now. I'm just saying some of those throws, some of those plays that Josh made that they didn't convert on, is that going to be an issue this week? Like with Lamar, can he do the same things? Because Josh Allen played lights out last week. I mean, I don't know what to expect of Lamar this week.
I thought so.
How about those Chiefs?
Over or under 44.5?
Well, I think Patrick's going to get his. I think they have a good coaching staff. They'll game plan. They're going to get at least 20. So for the Ravens to win, they're going to have to get more than that. I'm going to go over.
Lions get 7.5.
The Lions are gritty. All right, Dan Campbell's going to be fired up. That's a pretty big spread there. And so I'm going to take the Lions.
We're going to bite a kneecap off. We're going to kick you in the teeth.
And over or under 51.5.
If it gets over 51, I'm wondering if the Lions, really outscore them like that. So I'm going to go under.
And what quarterback will have the most yards this weekend?
This is a tough one because I like what everybody's saying with Goff and Purdy, and throwing in the upper 200s probably, and then the Chiefs and the Ravens being more of a passing and running game. But, gosh, I'm going to go Patrick Mahomes.
You got him.
I think.
Appreciate the call. It's a good job by you, Kramer. We got to get the break in here, and we'll come back. We'll set you up for hour number 2. We'll get more of your calls in as well on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold-certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
It's time to get ready for game day. That means Alabama football and tailgating. Whether you're tailgating at home or at Bryant-Denny, visit Brooks & Collier for North Alabama's largest selection of premium grills and smokers like Big Green Egg, Blaze, Delta Heat, Memphis, and Traeger. Satisfy any palate with our wall of rubs and seasonings. For all your tailgating needs, visit Brooks & Collier at 813 Meridian Street or at brooksandcollier.com. An Alabama tradition for over 75 years. Roll Tide.
Since 1986, Full Moon Barbecue has been cooking quality meats low and slow over a hickory wood-fired pit. From ribs and wings, brisket, turkey, catfish, and sausage to the best butts in town. If you're planning a holiday or a birthday party, Full Moon has a large banquet room. And Full Moon is ready for your next catering or tailgate. Just call us and we'll take care of everything. 256-713-0070. Full Moon Barbecue on the Parkway next to Costco. The best little pork house in Alabama.
Flying nonstop from Huntsville is a breeze on Breeze Airways. They're nice people flying nice people to nice places on really nice planes. Let's be direct. Nonstop from Huntsville to the places you want to go. Las Vegas, Orlando, or Tampa starting at $49. It's time for a weekend getaway or a long overdue week away. Time to check in using the convenient Breeze app and check out. What are you waiting for? Book today at flybreeze.com. That's flybreeze.com. Breeze Airways. Seriously nice.
Insurance.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to us on our YouTube channel and Twitch. Just search 97.7 ESPN. We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
All right, coming up at the top of the hour, Mike Johnson will be joining us. By the way, this segment brought to you by North Alabama Mortgage. So whether you're in Alabama, Tennessee, or Florida, it's North Alabama Mortgage there to take care of you. Don't forget to take advantage of that high home equity that you have. Rates have already begun to come down. You can go ahead and do a refinance now and then refi again once the rates bottom out. But this is a great time to take advantage of the home equity that you have in your property. Get rid of that other high consumer debt stuff. You can do that with North Alabama Mortgage. Go to NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more with my friend Brian Hammaker. Brian and I will be rooming together at Okeechobee Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, as he'll be also fishing in the St. Croix Bassmaster Open down there. I've got some other work to do as part of that in terms of the covering of it that I need to do and things like that. But Brian will be down there with me as well. He's a fine sponsor. It's always great to have him hanging out as well. I'm going to enjoy that. All right, Mike Johnson coming up at the top of the hour. Then we'll get back to your phone calls. If you can't hang until then, that's all right. You can hit us back. Dr. Detroit and Eddie. Love to hear from you guys. Well, Mike Johnson's next on the Raheem Morris hire. He's going to convince us why we should be excited about this. Next, right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is SportsCenter. I'm Christine Lisi. This just in. Looks like Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson will be getting one of his favorite targets back for Sunday's AFC title game against the Chiefs. Tight end Mark Andrews activated off injured reserve. He's missed the last 7 games with an ankle injury. 49ers receiver Deebo Samuel remains uncertain against Detroit NFC Championship game Sunday. He returned to practice yesterday, took part in a limited basis after missing Wednesday with that shoulder injury. A former WWE employee filed a federal lawsuit accusing executive Vince McMahon and another former executive of serious sexual misconduct. The graphic 67-page lawsuit from Janelle Grant, who worked in the company's legal and talent departments. McMahon stepped down as WWE CEO in 2022 amid an investigation into allegations that match those in the lawsuit.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to
meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
It's an amazing time in our industry. Things are changing so rapidly. With digital signatures and workflow software, we help our customers work from anywhere. This helps you save time and money and upgrade your technology. Like I said, it's an amazing time to watch our customers grow and succeed.
Just ask anyone. The Lion Group.
It's official. 47 years in a row, Ford F-150 is the best-selling truck in America. Come drive one and you'll see why. Hi, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to kickstart the new year in a brand new F-150. Choose from nearly 200 F-150s, and we think you'll find just the right one. Right now, we have financing as low as 1.9% for up to 72 months on 2023 F-150s, and lease payments as low as $389 a month. That's a 36-month lease with $6,282 due at signing, zero security deposit, just tax tag title, and your good credit. This offer ends January 31st. Call 539-9441 for complete details. At Woody Anderson Ford, we have nearly 50 2023 Explorers for you to choose from, too, with financing as low as 0.9% for up to 60 months. Plus, check out our over 40 24 Bronco Sports and a fresh truckload of the full-size Broncos that have just hit the ground. Come on over and let's get the new year rolling. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan at Sparkman. Hope to see you soon.
Football season and Bad Daddy's Burger Bar. The perfect combination of good times and great food. This season, score big with one of our chef-inspired expressions of pure burger amazingness. Our delicious burgers are made with premium Angus beef, and you can pair it with one of our signature cocktails or a cold craft beer from our huge selection. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar on the Parkway in Huntsville and our new location at Cliff Farm, Highway 72 in Madison.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy to overcast sky this afternoon. A couple of scattered showers are going to be possible across the Tennessee Valley, but it actually looks like we're going to spend a good majority of the day Friday on the drier end of the spectrum. It is going to be reasonably warm, especially when you consider the fact that it is late January. Temperatures climbing into the upper 50s, many of us, though, climbing into the lower 60s. We only drop into the upper 40s, lower 50s as we head into the overnight and early into your Saturday morning, dropping into the low 40s as we head into the overnight, early Sunday morning, scattered showers Sunday afternoon, much cooler. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Online at 977ESPN.com.
Stream them online.
Call in.
It's an important job, and it's an vital organization.
Tweet in and join in. We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The opinions of Thom Abraham are not necessarily the opinions of the radio station or anybody associated with the radio station or ownership. These are strictly his own opinions, and sometimes they're not even his opinions.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live. Here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
And welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Tom Abraham Show on a Football Friday in the Doghouse. We'll get back to your Friday trifecta here in just a little bit. The segment of the show is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford and the service team at Woody Anderson Ford. Not only are they the experts in the service of Fords and other makes, but they use genuine Ford and Motorcraft parts on every Ford service job, tire rotations, wheel alignments, brake jobs, oil changes, engine tune-ups, tranny work. They do it all at the service department in the Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center. It's Woody Anderson Ford. Don't forget the certified gold pre-owned vehicles as well, plus the new inventory. You'll find them at the corner of Sparkman and Jordan. That's Woody Anderson Ford, the only place I've gone in the Tennessee Valley for the past 20 years. It's Woody Anderson Ford. All right, joining us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, of course, former All-American at Alabama. He played for the Atlanta Falcons for about 5 years or so, former broadcast partner of mine, and now with 92.9 The Game in Atlanta. He is, of course, Mike Johnson. Mike, welcome back. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Busy time for us over here, as you can imagine, though. I'm sure it's the same for you.
Yeah, no, it is. It is crazy. We are a Falcons affiliate, so this becomes a thing, for us too. And there was a lot of excitement as to where this was going to go. First of all, let's put something in context. Were you on the team when Raheem Morris was there, coaching in the various different times that he coached there and the jobs that he held there?
I was not. I just missed him by a couple of months. With our paths did not cross. I have talked to multiple teammates of mine about him, and obviously the last 24 hours. So there's been some insight there for sure.
I feel that he's an excellent defensive coordinator. His record as a head coach is spotty at best. One winning year to 10-6 season in Tampa Bay. So I need you. I did see you on the X, saying that you were happy with the. I think you said that you were happy with the selection. Convince us as to why we should be excited that with Bill Belichick out there and interviewing Jim Harbaugh twice and even Mike Vrabel, that Raheem Morris is the guy. Tell me why I should be happy about this.
Well, listen. I think where I sit right now, I'm grading it sort of as an incomplete. I want to see, who he brings in as offensive coordinator and what the plan is for the quarterback. I think that's going to tell the story of the hire, not so much what Raheem Morris is right now and what he can be. I think the more so than me saying it's a good hire, the people that are saying it's a bad hire, I'd like to know why. It just seems like everybody that you hear that knows anything about NFL and coaching circles is heaping the praise on this guy right now and what an incredible mind he is. Let me just say this, though, Tom. The one thing I am over the moon excited about is this is a coach that obviously has head coaching experience, be it 13 years ago, has been a passing game coordinator in Atlanta for the most explosive passing game that this team has ever seen over here, and has also been a Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator. I think that is such a huge thing this day and age when you have, and I read it earlier, there will not be one team since 2021 that will have had the same coordinator, the same offensive coordinator coming back for 2024. So when you label it that way and you see the amount of turnover there is for coordinators, if you're a good coordinator in the NFL, you're moving on quickly. And I think if you want somebody around for longevity, somebody that can stabilize this position, I think Raheem Morris is that guy. I was not in on Belichick from the beginning. I don't want a guy at the end of his career. Maybe he's the greatest football mind of all time. Some of the numbers may say that. But I want a guy who is in here for the long haul. I don't want a 3-year Band-Aid. I want somebody who is going to grow with this franchise, with this quarterback, and be able to get this team in for the long haul. I didn't want to be back here in 3 or 4 years asking the same questions and trying to make a lot of the same moves.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. And I had said all along, it seemed like strange bedfellows. In my mindset, the place Belichick should be, if I were to Pagulas in Buffalo, and I know that, look, you could say what you want about how long this window is going to stay open for the Buffalo Bills, but they've got about 3 or 4 year window at the most. That's an aging team now with still a young quarterback. I'm saying I'm waving goodbye to McDermott and saying thank you for 58 wins in 5 years with no Super Bowl, which is the most ever of any team. But I'm pairing Belichick with that defense in Buffalo and that quarterback in Buffalo and saying take me to 2 of the next 3 Super Bowls, and you all are done at the same time. That's the mindset for me that would make the most sense. But as far as Belichick in Atlanta goes, do you think that was his call or Atlanta's call, Arthur Blank's call, that Belichick did not end up the head coach there?
It was 100% Arthur Blank's call. There's no doubt about that. We've talked.
So you think Belichick wanted the job? You'd say Belichick wanted it.
There's no doubt he wanted the job. That is I can guarantee that as a fact from the people I've talked to and being in and around that team and the number of people inside of our station, that he definitely wanted the job. The ironic part, going back to your statement about Buffalo, Tom, is if Buffalo wants him around, he doesn't have any plans for next year at this point. So, hey, bring him in the building, put him right there next to McDermott. I don't think the marriage was right. I don't think the timing was right. I think Arthur Blank was very much honed in on what Bill Belichick could have been here. And I think that in the end, once you went through these interview processes, looking at the structure of that franchise and Terry Fontenot and Rich McKay and everybody else that was involved, I think there was some things that Arthur Blank would have wanted Bill Belichick to cede control on. From everything I hear, that it didn't sound like were negotiables, for Bill Belichick. And in the end, it just didn't seem like they could come to an agreement on who had what type of power. Now, I do know this. They were very close to having an agreement at a number of different times, and it just didn't seem like they could ever come together and really talk about who was in charge of what, and couldn't get far enough down the road for that. So listen, I have all the respect in the world for Bill Belichick, but I do think guys that coach like Bill Belichick does, I think their time I think that's kind of run its course in the NFL, to be frank with you, Tom. This is more of a players' league than it's ever been. The players have more rights than it's ever been. Bill Belichick was widely known as the guy who just kind of dangled the carrot, right? Hey, we're going to make you a good player. You're going to play well, but when you want to get paid, you're going somewhere else. And that's just not the kind of guy that commands respect in the locker room anymore. And you see it with a lot of these players moving into these roles. Antonio Pierce, Dan Campbell, D'Amico Ryans, that a lot of these players, if you're going to play hard, you better like the guy that's in charge of you.
It's interesting. I was all in on D'Amico Ryans, there's no doubt. And obviously he had a great year. He should be coach of the year. Maybe Kevin Stefanski, but I think it'll be D'Amico Ryans in the end. We'll see how that all shakes out. I'm not sure about Antonio Pierce. That one, I got to wait and see on that one, because when you look at Antonio Pierce, he just had zero success or anything as a head coach. He basically took one of the greatest high school programs in the state of California and drove it into the ground as a head coach, and that's his only head coaching experience. And I know that they played hard for him and all of that. I'm gonna be curious as to see how that one shakes out there with Antonio Pierce.
Yeah, I have too. In a lot of ways, that felt like an oops, my bad from last year when they didn't hire Rich Bisaccia into that role. When they had that turnover then, and they bring McDaniels in, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, we probably should have hired from within. I know that there was an immense amount of pressure from that locker room of saying Antonio Pierce is the guy. And Tom, in the end, I think what people have to realize is the NFL is more of a win-now league than it's ever been as well, right? We're talking about 1 and 2 year windows with a lot of these coaching situations. Unless you can find that long-term quarterback that kind of puts you into place. And, look, even at some of the long-term places, look at Pittsburgh right now. Mike Tomlin is the guy, but you can't find the quarterback. And that's why they've kind of stumbled and struggled here recently. So, look, what can Antonio Pierce do? I don't know, but they're in a lot of the same situation Atlanta's in, where you have to go find the guy under center, and if you can do that and find the right coordinators, then you're going to go far. And as long as those players keep playing hard, then you'll be successful in the long run.
Now, did you play it off for Dan Quinn, or was he after you?
Tom, the story of me and Dan Quinn goes about like this. I knew Mike Smith last year. I got put on injured reserve, and I knew that my time was coming to a close in Atlanta. So when Dan Quinn was hired, I saw him one time in the lunchroom, and I had a voicemail from him that let me know that they were going in a different direction. And That's about the extent. That's about the extent of me and Dan Quinn. I have a lot of respect for the guy, but I never did get a chance to play for him. I knew they were going a different direction. He knew they were going a different direction. So there was never a need for us to have and exchange too many pleasantries at the time.
It's always the old story. My best friend in coaching, a guy by the name of Andy Hendel, he was in the USFL. He's my age. So he was in the USFL, played 2 years there with Vaughn Johnson, side by each in Jacksonville, and played very well. And then when the USFL went away, the original USFL went away, he was signed by Miami, and he was their special teams captain, and he played 2 years there, and he was doing really well. And so he's about 26, 27 years old at the end of his second year in Miami as a special teams guy. And his contract, he just got to $100,000, right? So this is the 80s. So he just got to $100,000 contract. He had a condo on the beach in Miami and so on. And in the exit, interviews, Don Shula calls him in, and Shula says to him, "Have you thought about what you want to do after football?" And he says, "Well, no, Coach, I hadn't really thought about it yet. I'm only 27 years old. It really isn't something I've thought about much at this point." And he says, "Oh, okay." And the next day he was on the cut list, and he was released. That was that, and you know that story, right?
That's how it is. It's so funny, Tom, because it was like I was on a prove it deal in Mike Smith last year, and it was like, dude, you know what? You need to come back and stay healthy, and I'll be danged if I didn't even get through training camp that year. And when Dan Quinn was hired, I know he was getting up to speed and hiring all these new coaches, and I just kind of looked at him on the way to the lunchroom one day, and I just thought, "Well, you're a cool dude, man. I don't think I'm ever going to get a chance to play for you." So it's okay though. It's
funny.
Okay.
Mike Johnson here. Maybe he'll hire you to coach with him at Washington. He's getting a second interview at Washington. It's going to be very interesting to see if he ends up going to the Commanders, going to the arch rival of the Cowboys. But it looks like he's going to get another shot. A lot of people like him in Seattle. Those are the only two jobs left. And Belichick is not up for either of them, basically. So it looks like Bill Belichick's going to be on the outside. He might be doing what we're doing by the time the season comes around. But it'll be interesting to see if Quinn gets a shot at either of those two jobs. I tend to think, look, if Raheem Morris gets another shot, I think Dan Quinn deserves another shot.
Well, and listen, let's be honest. Dan Quinn, Falcons fans sometimes want to bash the end of Dan Quinn. He was a good hire. I mean, the guy took the Falcons to the Super Bowl. You can say whatever you want to surrounding the fact that he never won it. But when a coach takes a team to the Super Bowl, when they've only ever been one other time in franchise history, that's a good hire. That's a good coach.
Yeah.
So I think what we're going to find out, Tom, in Seattle is how much does Pete Carroll actually have to do in his new role that he's supposedly in with anything that's going on football-wise. Because I know that Pete Carroll knows Dan Quinn, he loves Dan Quinn, and he trusts Dan Quinn. And if that's the case, I think it's a slam-dunk hire, and I think he's a shoo-in to get the job. So we'll see what happens, but, I think he definitely deserves another shot as well. And, look, Tom, above all else, and I've had this conversation a dozen times already today, there are so many coaches that did not last at their first stop. I mean, I go all the way back, and you will remember this. Mike Shanahan with the Raiders, and then goes, and is the coordinator for Steve Young, and then all of a sudden he's back with the Broncos winning Super Bowls as the coach after he just got fired by Al Davis. So there's a number of guys like that around the league. Doesn't always work out at your first stop. And, I think you learn a little bit along the way. You take a timeout, just like Raheem Morris did, and you go learn a little bit more from Sean McVay the last few years, won a Super Bowl. And then maybe you're better prepared in the end and know more of what you want to do the second time around.
Well, hey, that's Pete Carroll. I mean, Pete Carroll, failed with the Jets, 6-10, and then he was a 500 coach with the Patriots, and went to college football and won himself 1.5 national championships, and then went back to the NFL, and now he's borderline Hall of Fame NFL coach. I'm not ready to say, these guys that have won one Super Bowl, I'm not ready to say that I'm going to automatically would put him in. He's got about a 580, 590 winning percentage, but he's borderline Hall of Fame coach now. So if anybody appreciates that, that is Pete Carroll. And to your point, if Pete was really involved strongly in that deal, I mean, we're 2 or 3 weeks into this process. Why isn't Dan Quinn the head coach in Seattle now?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if I haven't really tracked their, situation the way I did in Atlanta. Atlanta interviews 14 different candidates and cast the widest net in the history of the team to try to hire head coach number 19, and yet they go hire head coach number 17 to be head coach number 19 here in Atlanta. So I don't know if that's the situation up there. I still have a lot of questions, about what they're doing, but I know that for a fact, and this was tweeted out yesterday, that Raheem Morris was on his way or about to be on his way to Seattle yesterday when Atlanta called him and said, hey, no, come on back to Atlanta. We think we have a spot for you here. So Raheem Morris was between Commanders and Seattle interviews when Atlanta called and offered him the job, and he rerouted and came all the way back to Atlanta to sign that contract. So I don't know where they're at in their search, but I at this point I have no reason to believe it's anybody other than Dan Quinn.
Yeah, Mike Johnson with us here. All right, so just to finish up on Raheem Morris, what are you guys reading into tea leaves as far as, who are his contacts? Because that offensive coordinator thing is huge, and now you have to wonder whether or not, with Belichick, the thought was maybe Kirk Cousins would be going there. This offensive coordinator call is going to be huge because of the uncertainty at quarterback there. They got to figure out whether to draft it. If you stay at 8, you're going to get the fourth best quarterback, because I think there's going to be 3 quarterbacks gone by the time they get there at 7 or 8, wherever they're at 8, I think is where 8 or 9. You're not going to get one of the top 3 guys, so that's probably out the window. The Justin Fields thing continues to kind of hang out there as well, and whether they're a player to bring that kid back home and whether you even want to do that. So you got any insight at all, just from a connection standpoint, who Raheem Morris might be able to bring in as an offensive coordinator?
Well, all signs kind of point to Zach Robinson at this point, and I actually have an interesting connection. He's the quarterback coach, passing game coordinator out there for Los Angeles right now, and Zach Robinson, strangely enough, made me feel old because I was like, man, I think I know Zach Robinson. Turns out he was one of our quarterbacks in the Senior Bowl when I played in the Senior Bowl. He's out of Oklahoma State, and him and Tim Tebow were our quarterbacks in the Senior Bowl when I lined up in the Senior Bowl. So I think a lot of people, it kind of goes along with the Raheem thing. A lot of people are excited about what Zach Robinson and what he possibly could be, just as far as an offensive coordinator goes. He's a young mind in the game, and I think anybody that comes from Sean McVay these days, you kind of assume that they have a really, a special ability to get things going offensively. So we'll see what happens. As far as the quarterback goes, I've heard a number of different theories. We actually had Thomas Dimitroff on one of our shows on our station earlier today. Thomas Dimitroff kind of pointed to the fact that he actually really likes Bo Nix, not at 8, but he said if you can get him a little bit later in the first round, that Bo Nix is a guy that he thinks has a lot of upside. So I don't know if we've talked about this, Tom, but you also have Kirk Cousins, whose wife is from Atlanta. She's from the Atlanta area. She went to the University of Georgia. I would love if you could set up an Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love situation where you have Kirk Cousins here for 3 years and maybe you have Bo Nix under him for 3 years and you have that situation. I don't know, but it all comes down to that. If you love Caleb Williams, get with Chicago and trade it for Caleb Williams. I personally don't want Justin Fields here. I don't want that style of offense. I want more, pocket passing and things like that, and more guys that are going to stay healthy and not have to do it with their legs. But if that's the guy that you covet, then go get him. But if it's Zach Robinson, I think you're going after a pocket passer. I think that, in a lot of people's book, that Kirk Cousins will be at the top of your list. And if not, you're going to the draft and you're trying to see how far you have to move up to get a Jaden Daniels or a Drake May or a guy like that at the present moment. So we'll see.
Our resident Falcons fan, my producer, Chad Gwathney, he made all funny faces when you said Bo Nix. I like Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix, what he did when he got out there, I love Bo Nix. I think Nix would be an excellent selection if you could get him early in the second round, and I think you might be able to. You might not. I think he's going to perform really well at the Underwear Olympics, so we'll have to see how that goes. But certainly Kirk Cousins would be, that would be an automatic deal if they were able to get him in. Mike Johnson has been our guest. Mike, I appreciate you so much, and great to get you back in here talking about this deal. And let's see, I know that everybody would love to see things blossom in Atlanta like they could. There's a lot of parts there offensively. You just got to get a trigger, man.
Well, listen, you can put the ingredients in one by one, and Raheem Morris is just one piece. We got to see how the recipe turns out. Let's get all the other ingredients thrown in there and see what happens. So we'll see. It's going to be a fun off season, that's for sure.
No doubt about it, my friend. Appreciate you.
Always, buddy.
All right, thank you. It's Mike Johnson. First time in the history of me that have done a Mike Johnson interview and did not slip a little Alabama question in there.
Yeah. I thought you were going to ask Kalen DeBoer or something,
No, we've been talking about, we've been talking it up so much. I'm like, you know what? See if I can do a full interview with Mike Johnson and not ask him, so what do you think about 16-year-old Ryan Williams committing to Alabama,
I respect Mike Johnson. One of my favorite Bama players, to be honest with you. One of my favorite overall players. Guy that stayed for Saban his senior year, was able to get to the NFL. But, I don't like Thomas Dimitroff. I've never been a big fan of him. And when I get it, I like Bo Nix, but give me Jaden Daniels. Let him sit behind Kirk Cousins or somebody, and I'll be fine with it.
Jaden Daniels. You got to go up to get Jaden Daniels.
They might get him at 8. I've seen a mock. I've seen mocks.
Oh, Jaden Daniels ain't going to be around at 8.
He might be.
That's why he was saying Bo Nix, is that because the Nix is 4. He's the 4th of those guys. And you could get Bo Nix maybe early second round. I wouldn't take Bo Nix at 8, but if Bo Nix is still around in the second round, I mean, that's a good pickup, I think. You're not going to get him there. You got to go. You got to do something if you're going to get. If you want Jaden Daniels,
I think I've seen a couple mocks that Jaden Daniels is right there at 8, even before they decided who was going to be the next head coach. So even when Arthur Smith was the head coach. So
listen, whoever gets Chicago's pick, if Chicago doesn't take a quarterback, somebody's getting Chicago's pick. There's one quarterback off the board. Washington is going to take a quarterback off the board, and New England's going to take a quarterback off the board. How in the hell is Jaden Daniels going to be around? Arizona won't take a quarterback. The Chargers won't take a quarterback. The Giants might take a quarterback. The Titans will not take a quarterback. So it all depends. I think the first 3 off the board are going to be Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Jaden Daniels. I think those 3 come off the board. Probably 1, 2, 3, to be honest with you. All right, let's get a break. When we come back, by the way, Eddie got in. That was a first-timer for Eddie. I think he's like Big Blue Lion, UK Blue something. I don't know. But Eddie got in via the text window.
Okay, yeah, because
it's a good job by him. Yeah, and stop. Whoever called the text window during the Mike Johnson thing, you do not call the text window.
It might have been Daryl.
You text the text window. Your call-in number, Daryl in Hollywood, is 256-576-4977. 256-576-4977. Your text window is 732-982-7469. We'll start with our calls next. Dr. Detroit is up first on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Work injuries happen in Alabama all the time, whether it's an accident at work, getting injured, lifting heavy objects, hurting your hands on a machine, or just performing the same movement over and over until your body breaks down. But when it happens, there's only one law firm to call in Alabama. That's Pond, Lehocky, Giordano. For personalized legal support, reach out to Pond Lehocky at 855-774-3838 or pondlehocky.com.
The representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Philip Love of not only Eagle Insulation, now he represents Eagle Companies. Eagle through the years have added several companies to help individuals or builders through their construction renovation process. Eagle is known to represent quality, efficiency, and professionalism. Philip, I know you do insulation, but do you do masonry?
We do.
Do you do grading, erosion control, and dirt hauled off?
We do.
Do you do afterpaint, which includes shower doors, mirrors, shelving blinds, and bath hardware?
Yes, we do, Wes.
Do you do landscaping and irrigation?
Yes, we do.
So basically, Eagle can help you all along your process of building your house or doing renovations. So do you do plumbing?
We do not, Wes, but we can find somebody to do it.
Just give them time. They'll be there. Anyway, call Eagle Insulation at
256-755-1556.
Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Call Eagle today.
Thanks, Wes.
What's better than 2 end-zone sports bars? 3 end-zone sports bars. And we have you covered with our original location on University across from Red Lobster, in Jones Valley on Cecil Ashburn near Carl T. Jones, and our newest location in the Midtown District on McMurtry Drive opposite the Target Plaza. All locations feature the NFL Sunday Ticket, Tuesday half-price burgers, and Wednesday $1 jumbo wings all day long. You're never far from the end zone. End Zone Sports Bar.
The best in local sports talk from the 256. We are local.
When you're number one, you don't have to worry.
We are award-winning. Thank you for listening. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You'll be set for life.
Segment of the Tom Abraham Show, brought to you by Valley Equipment Rental. It's going to be a nice weekend. You want to get your gear from Valley Equipment Rental after the show, and if you get it after the show, you're good all the way until Monday morning. So you can get a lot done this weekend with Valley Equipment Rental. And listen, if you're a contractor out there, and I come from a construction family, okay, my father's still a contractor. I'm 63 years old. My father's 84. I'm going down and going to see him there in Florida, and he's still running his electrical contracting company, all right? So I grew up in the construction trades, and I know how important it is to have long-term rentals, all right? Whether it's excavators, skid steers, lifts, things like that. The long-term rental is the way to go, because if that thing goes down, and when it goes down at some particular point in time, boom, they just bring in another one, or they send their guy out and they get you back up and you're up and running. And if they can't get you up and running right away, they're dropping you another piece. If you own the piece, you're screwed. You're screwed, because now you've got to repair yours and you got to rent one from Valley Equipment Rental anyway. Okay, so Ross Roberts and his team, they do a tremendous job, and they're locally owned. 2 locations, North Parkway, South Parkway. Valley Equipment Rental. Long-time supporters now of the Tom Abraham Show. It's Valley Equipment Rental. By the way, Grizz, I'm very excited. I'm very excited.
What you excited about?
I'm excited. You know that the palatial headquarters of Big Dog Productions,
yes,
my office building now is right directly across the street from my house. Okay, we took the guest house and turned that into the studio.
Perfect
all right,
place.
so I'm over here. Yeah, I mean, it's very exciting.
Yell all you want.
I got a kitchen right there. I got a bathroom right next door. I got the beautiful studio here.
Nice setup.
There's still
like
a
Omaha
bedroom
Productions
here.
Over here.
It is. It's like Omaha Productions.
Yeah.
Okay,
Big Dog Productions.
There's a little area there where people can watch, like a clubhouse, and then there's even a bedroom. Still, there's a bedroom here. We kept one of the bedrooms a bedroom for guests. If they come and they want to spend the weekend, I'm not here. In the studio during the weekend, they could come and they could stay over here on the weekend. Anyway, we're right in downtown Winchester, Tennessee, which is right across the border, about 40 minutes north of downtown Huntsville. Anyway, We just got a Jefferson's Sports Bar on the square.
Nice. Yeah, nice.
On the square. I mean, I feel big time now. I can walk to
Very
Jefferson's
cool, yeah.
Sports Bar. I loved Jefferson's when I was in Nashville. They have a couple of locations up there around Nashville and in that area. And now we got one in Winchester, Tennessee. So those of you that come here to Tim's Ford Lake in the summertime or whatever, Jefferson's on the square, man. And it is so cool. They got walls full of TVs and everything else. So it is, it's really cool. All right, phone lines are open and phone lines are mini jammed. I guess we got room to get a couple of more in. If you want to jump in, you can do it. 256-576-4977. Those of you just joining the show now, this is the scoring for today. We have 4 picks for you today. Any 3 of the 4 is a 3-point trifecta now. Any 3 of the 4 is a 3, because this is championship weekend. It's a 3-point trifecta because, you got to hit a trifecta to make it a trifecta. The 4th game, if you hit all 4, you get a bonus 3 points. So now it's a touchdown. So, all right, so you get 3 points for getting any 3. Now you get 3 more for getting a 4th. So now it's a touch. It goes from a field goal to a touchdown. And if we're going to have a touchdown, we got to have an extra point. And your extra point is just tell me which quarterback accounts for the most yards. Of the 4 quarterbacks playing this weekend, who gets the most yards? It's that easy. It's that easy. We got the Chiefs plus 3.5 at the Ravens, over or under 44.5. We got the Lions getting 7.5 at the 49ers, over or under 51.5 points. We got the quarterback that has the most yards. You can text it in at 732-982-7469, or you can call the Sports Talk Radio Show at 256-576-4977, like Dr. Detroit has. Dr. Detroit, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, how are you, Captain? My captain.
I am spectacular.
Outstanding. You're so stoked with the trifecta and everything. I like that with the 3 extra bonus points. And I love your shows. I love it. Hey, Roy Snyder, by the way, how big's your boat?
I run a 20-foot Phoenix bass boat with a 225 Mercury on it.
Very nice. Very impressive.
Yeah.
All right,
I got Electron 3. I got 3 12-inch electronic screens on it. I got a 360 down imaging, side imaging, mapping, Ultrex trolling motor.
Wow.
Got on the back talons, hummingbird talons on the back for anchoring and all that kind of good stuff. All sponsors of mine, which is fantastic. I'm blessed. I'm very, very lucky to have Phoenix as one of my my main sponsors of Bassmaster Radio, and they have provided me with a very, very nice rig. No doubt about it.
And
he loves fishing.
Yeah.
All right, I guess let the games begin.
Chiefs get 3.5 at the Ravens.
I'm taking Ravens. And
if the ball is in your hand and I knock it out your hand, that's a freaking fumble.
Now you're laying 3.5 because with the Ravens. Over or under 44.5 points?
Over.
Your Lions get 7.5 at the 49ers.
Okay, right before I give you my answer, what did you ever think in your wildest dreams that the Lions would make it this far?
This year, yes, and I'm old enough as you are to remember 1991 when they made it to Washington in the championship, the NFC Championship. They got smoked in it. I think it was 41-10. But yeah, I mean, it has to happen sooner or later, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me the Lions, and I'll take the over as well.
We're going to bite a kneecap off.
All right, so you got the Lions, you got the over 51.5. And then what quarterback, for the extra point, what quarterback will have the most yards this weekend, combined rushing and receiving, rushing and passing? What quarterback has the most total yards this weekend of the 4?
I'm going with my own Mr. Golf.
All right. You got him, my friend.
Hey, God bless. Take care, buddy.
All right. Appreciate you. All 4 quarterbacks have been mentioned, by the way. Lamar, Mahomes, Purdy, Goff, Purdy, Mahomes, Goff. So that's good. That means it's a good question. All 4 guys. And by the way, those of you just saying, well, you're ripping on the Lions. The only other time they were in the NFC Championship game was and you're a Browns fan. I mean, come on. Look, this is the Lions' second time in the NFC Championship. But I'm just here to tell you, okay, about the Browns. The Browns have been at this point 5 times. 5 times the Browns have been in the AFC Championship game. Or 2 of them were the NFL/NFC Championship game. It was the Baltimore Colts before they got beat by the Jets in the Super Bowl in '69. The Colts beat the Browns in the NFL Championship game to go there. The following year, the Vikings beat the Browns, and they went and got beat by the Kansas City Chiefs. And then the Browns in 88, 89, and 91, 88, 89, and 91, all 3 years, it was the Browns and the Broncos in the AFC Championship game. So the Browns have been at this point 5 times. This is the second time for Detroit to be at this point. So don't hound me on that. My cousin Vinny is next. Vincenzo, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, great, Tom. How are you?
I am tremendous.
Yes, excuse me. Yes, you are. Hey, real
Thank you.
quick before I do my picks. I fell asleep right before overtime of the Bruins game last night. As a Bruins fan, I recorded it. As a Bruins fan, do I want to bother watching the overtime?
You know, that is a great point because I watched the first and second periods, and then I did not watch the end of the game because I can't figure out how to get the how to record on ESPN Plus. I'm going to have to learn how to record on the ESPN Plus so that I can get the game. So I didn't even get the end of the game. But let me tell you what happened in that game. Yes is the answer. You want to go ahead and watch the overtime.
Okay. I know they blew a 2-goal lead. But anyway,
They
okay,
did,
great.
Yeah. They did, but you want to go ahead and watch the overtime and enjoy that.
Okay. Let's pick some here now.
Grace, do you know how to do that? Like on ESPN Plus, when I pull a game up on ESPN Plus app on the TV, can you record like you would record, regular TV?
I don't know about ESPN Plus because I don't have ESPN Plus, but the YouTube TV, if you have it and it's on, if a game is on or something like that, you can obviously hit the plus and record it. Yeah, but I don't know about ESPN Plus.
This is the only negative about YouTube TV.
What's up?
They don't have any NHL. They don't have the NHL channel, and they don't have the only NHL you get on YouTube TV is what's on ESPN or TNT. They don't have the YouTube channel, and they don't have. So I have to have ESPN Plus to watch the hockey. You can watch the hockey game it gives you an option to watch from the beginning, but it doesn't give you an option like, okay, I watched the first 2 periods. Now I'm going to watch a show with my wife. I'm going to record the 3rd period.
Yeah.
So I would have to figure out how to scrub it forward maybe and go from there. All right, Vinny, the Chiefs get 3.5 at the Ravens.
The Chiefs.
I really appreciate that Patrick Price on my insurance. Being a champ has its perks.
Over or under 44.5?
Over.
The Lions get 7.5 at the 49ers.
I'm going on the Wolverine Dan or the Natty Danny bandwagon. I'm taking the Lions.
We're going to bite a kneecap off. We're going to kick you in the teeth.
It'd be interesting to see by the end of Michigan's reign as national champions whether everybody's just calling them Natty Danny, and then we're going to have to go back to calling them Wolverine sucks Dan, because they're going to suck. The over or under 51.5 in that game?
Under.
And what quarterback will have the most total yards this weekend?
Patrick Mahomes.
All right. You got him, my friend.
All right. Hey, have a safe trip, Tom.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Those of you just joining, Vinny referring to the fact that while the music is playing after the show, I'll be heading south. Went down to Florida, spent a few days with the family down there, and then off to Okeechobee for a major tournament and try and win $20,000. What do you think, Chris? I got a shot at winning $20,000? You never know.
Yeah, without a doubt.
3 big ones Thursday and Friday. I'm going to hang with on Wednesday, which is the last day of practice. There's 3 days of practice, but Monday and Tuesday I have to do my show, so I won't be practicing Monday and Tuesday. But Wednesday, on the last day of practice, I'm gonna go out with Brandon Lester, pro from Fayetteville, Tennessee, and I'll go out and spend some time with him. I'm fishing this one as a not on the pro side, but on the co-angler side. So basically, these tournaments are pro-ams. But even on the pros are fishing for $50,000 first place, and the amateurs are fishing for $20,000 first place. So that's what I'm fishing for, the $20,000 first place. So we'll see what happens. But I gotta cover it. I gotta do radio and TV on it and all that kind of stuff, which is fine. But they sponsor me, you know what I mean? And I keep whatever I win, and they cover all my expenses, and I keep whatever I win. So yeah, I mean that's a good thing. Where am I going next here? I'm going to Keith, the Michigan fan. Keith, welcome to the show. How are you?
Doing all right, big dog. All right, let's get these these picks.
The Chiefs get 3.5.
I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson in Baltimore.
Lamar Jackson in the flesh.
Over under 44.5.
Let's go under.
Lions get 7.5.
Lions.
We're going to kick you in the teeth. We're going to bite a kneecap off.
Over or under 51.5.
Let's go under.
And what quarterback this weekend will have the most total yards?
That's a tough one. Let's go with the Lions and Jared Goff. Now, you talking about recording something on YouTube TV. You have to put it in your library. I mean, it could be halfway through the game. Just click on it.
I got that. I got that on YouTube TV. The problem is YouTube TV doesn't have any hockey. So if you watch hockey, you're watching it on ESPN Plus. So you go into the ESPN app and you go into the ESPN Plus and watch the hockey game, and it gives you two choices: join it live or watch from the beginning. It doesn't give you a choice to like record the third period. You know what I mean? Now you could say watch it from the beginning and then try and scrub forward probably and get to the third period. You know, something like that.
You're gonna have to get you a VCR.
VCR. They even make those anymore? I got a box full of VCR tapes. I wonder if
they find it at the Goodwill or something, probably.
I don't even know if I can find a DVD player anymore. I've got.
They have them in Walmart.
Do they? I have a stack of DVDs. Every time I was on ESPN TV, I used to be on ESPN TV on a show on ESPN2 back in the day, and when I was in Nashville, and it was called Squawk Back, and it would be me, and then it would be two other radio personalities from ESPN Radio, either somebody like Andrew Marchand from New York, or sometimes it was a guy from LA, or sometimes it was, wherever they were. It was always me and two other guys, and the show was called Squawk Back. Anyway, they would always send me they would do a DVD of it every single week. They would do a DVD of it. I was on the show for the entire season, it was a fall show, and it was 15 or 16 weeks. So, Grizz, I have this stack of CDs. I don't even know. Hang on a second. My laptop, I think my desktop machine has a CD slot in it.
Ooh, pretty old.
But I don't know. The desktop machine's 10 years old. But I don't know how to. I want to double them down and save them somehow. I got to figure out how to do that. I have the CDs, but I've never looked at them, to be honest with you. So.
Hey,
to burn them some more.
Yeah.
Hey, the last time the Lions won the NFC Championship, 1957. I was 2 years old. Now, since the Lions is making it this far, I'm hoping they go the rest of the way. And in the curse of Bobby Lang. For those who don't know about Bobby Lang, he was the star quarterback for the Detroit Lions when they won, I think, twice or maybe three times in the 50s.
Three times in the 50s, yeah. All of them over the Browns. And that one in 57, they won. I think I'll have to put the research team on it. I think they won in 57 against Cleveland, like 57-10 or something, or 56-14 or something like that. They hammered the Browns, and Bobby Lang. And then he was traded to Pittsburgh.
Right.
Yeah.
59-14.
He said the Lions would not win another championship for 50 years. Well,
almost 60.
He was right.
64 years, but 65 years, I think, something like that. Yeah.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
But hopefully they win the Super Bowl and end his curse.
Yeah, we'll see.
And put some money in my pocket, too. All right,
that would be great for you. All right, appreciate it. What was it, Grizz? Grizz said the score 59 to what?
59-14.
59-14. They beat the Browns in 1957. They played four times in the 50s, Cleveland and Detroit. That was the game. And then they played a preseason game forever after that, and it was called the It was Great Lakes Classic or something like that. They had a trophy and everything. Grumpy is up next. Grumpy, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, pretty good. Whoever's in the dog pound that worked at the men's department and managed it, I need a new suit. I forget who it is.
Wasn't it Hollywood? I thought that was Hollywood. I think Hollywood
been.
works in the men's department.
Yeah. Hey, whatever happened to
It's Hollywood.
Whatever happened to Dirty Dave?
Dirty Dave is still out there. He listens, and we hear from him every once in a while, but not on the, not calling in.
Yeah.
But he is he's a big time realtor now, and as he does really well. I talk to him every once in a while. If I'm looking at property in Alabama, I always call Dirty Dave.
Check out that picture I sent you a minute ago, man. I've got a full-grown red-tailed hawk in the back seat of my truck.
Wow. Why is he in the back seat of your truck?
He was on I-65, and I threw a sheet over him last night. I'm taking him to a Raptor Center at 3 o'clock.
Oh, awesome. I've seen
he's
two
alive.
downtown.
He's still alive, is what you're saying.
Oh,
he's hurting.
Oh,
he's hurting, but he's alive. Okay.
Yeah, he got out of the box. He's loose in my truck now, so it's going to be an exciting ride.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Yeah, that is going to be crazy.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do this thing.
Chiefs plus 3.5 at the Ravens.
Chiefs.
I really appreciate that Patrick Price on my insurance. Being a champ has its perks.
Over or under 44.5?
Over.
Lions plus 7.5.
Lions.
We're going to bite a kneecap off. We're going to kick you in the teeth.
Over or under 51.5?
Under.
What quarterback will have the most total yards this weekend?
I think maybe because the Lions have the worst defense out of the four of them, I'll go with Purdy.
All right, man. You got him. Good luck with it. Good luck with the red-tailed hawk. That's a good job by you picking that thing up. All right, let's get a break in here. We'll come back and wrap it up. We can get you guys in. We'll do our best to try and do that. Whoever's left on hold, we'll try and get to Jeremy and wrap it up. It's the Tom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
It's time you discovered one of Huntsville's culinary gems, Good Company Cafe, the place for breakfast, lunch, brunch, and so much more. Bottomless coffee options, boxed lunch catering, pastries, and wedding and other special event catering. And with Valentine's Day coming, Good Company Cafe can help you impress your special someone with Valentine's brunch. Or you can order a brunch board to go with a bottle of wine for a special personalized picnic. Find out more and order online at goodcompany-cafe.com or stop by and see us at 7500 South Memorial Parkway.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time, or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Valley Equipment Rental has grown by leaps and bounds over the past year and is adding more and more equipment to their already impressive fleet. Valley is a locally owned family equipment rental business serving the entire Tennessee Valley. They concentrate on the local contractors, building repeat business and specializing in long-term rentals for their local contractors. The benefit of long-term rental is that they stay on top of their assets. If something you own goes down in the field, you have to stop and fix it before you can finish the job. With Valley Equipment Rental, they will fix it on site or bring you another machine while that one's being fixed. More importantly, Valley is locally owned and operated, which means when you have an issue, you can get someone on it right away, right here in the Valley. Heck, ask for Ross Roberts, the owner, if you like. Try calling one of the big box national outlets and asking for the owner. That's if you can even get through the automation. Buy local. Buy Valley Equipment Rental. Valley Equipment Rental has 2 locations, one on the North and South Parkway. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
I wanna thank you. Thank you for making us your #1 choice for sports talk in North Alabama.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Ah, that hawk looks so cool. I'm looking at the picture Grumpy sent. He's got it in a cooler.
Chicken.
The hawk is in a cooler in the back of his thing, and he's got all these like noodles around it to try and keep it safe. And now it's going to be flying around. Yeah, it's going to be flying around now in the because if it got loose.
That's
here,
cool. Much respect.
I'm sending it to you, Chad. Let me see if I half the thing I said to you. Did you ever clear any of that one email out at all?
Oh, yeah,
because
I did.
I've been okay, good, because I've been getting all these emails back that I sent to you to your wrong email address. It was a bad job by me. All right, let me get Jeremy in here. Jeremy, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good.
You want to get a piece of this thing?
Gunnersville, Alabama.
Say that again.
Just ate Pizza Head downtown Gunnersville, and
nice.
It was incredible. If anybody's
Nice.
down there, go. It's great.
What's the name of the joint?
I wanted to get these. It's called Pizza Ed's.
Pizza Ed's. Okay. All right. Free plug for Pizza Ed's. Mm-hmm. Let's check it out.
No S, just Ed. Just
Pizza Ed. Just Pizza Ed.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I want to get some picks in here for.
Chiefs get 3.5. Chiefs get 3.5 at the Ravens.
Somebody better buy Andy Reid a big old box of chicken nuggies because I'm going Ravens.
Lamar Jackson in the flesh.
Over or under 44.5?
Over.
Lions get 7.5.
I'm going with the Lions.
We're going to bite a kneecap off. We're going to kick you in the teeth.
Over or under 51.5?
I think it's going to be under.
And what quarterback of the 4 this weekend will have the most total yards?
Jared Goff, because San Francisco's going to forget to bring the defense.
All right, Jeremy, we got you in.
You guys have
Appreciate
a good
you.
one. Hey, catch a big one.
All right, man, appreciate it. You catch 6 big ones. So Jared Goff got more picks than Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson got the first 2 picks. Now, this is just over the air. There's 5 times as many picks that come in on the text window than I do over the air. But Lamar Jackson got 2. Mahomes got 3. Jared Goff got 4. Purdy got 3. So Lamar Jackson ended up getting the least amount of picks on that. The Lions dominating. The Lions got all but 2 picks against the 49ers on the air. The Ravens and the Chiefs is pretty much split. The under in the 49ers-Lions game was pretty dominant. And the over-under was pretty much split on Chiefs-Ravens. So we're going to have winners. There's no doubt about it. All right, that's going to do it for us today. Enjoy your weekend. We will join you poolside on Monday from Southwest Florida. Coming up next, it is the Paul Feinbaum Show on 97.7 ESPN. The Zone.